Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another jam-packed episode of the Media Boat Podcast, your weekly rundown where we talk about movies, TV, music, and definitely video games.
Mhm.
My name is Mike. His name is Matt.
My name is Matt. His name is Mike. Don't worry, we won't talk about literally everything that was announced in the last few days, but we'll give you the highlights. And there are a handful of highlights. This is the Media About Podcast, just like you said. Today is June the 5th, 2026. We are in the middle of the Summer Game Fest, which is why we're talking about that. This is episode 541. And let's get this show on the road, shall we?
Yep, and we'll start off with the music section. Start the music section with the Billboard. Start the Billboard with the Hot 100. And the hottest song in the land is Janice STFU by Drake.
Yeah, we should be clear that that is the name of the song, and we don't know anybody named Janice. At least I don't.
The Muppet Janice.
We don't know Janice the Muppet, like in person.
For real. All right. At two, Choose in Texas by Ella Langley. At three, Be Hurt by Ella Langley. At
Mhm.
four, Shebang
Shebang.
by Drake. And right, your top five, The Cure, the song, not the band, by Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes.
As for your album chart, your Billboard 200, at number one is Iceman by
Man.
Drake. At two, Dandelion by Ella Langley. At three, The Great Divide by Noah Kahan. At four, The Problem himself, Morgan Wallen. And right at your top five, Thriller by Michael Jackson. It was gone for a week, but it's back.
Back.
If you didn't like any of those albums, we have new releases. And I'm going to say a little bit of something for everybody. And also, what year is it with these
Yeah.
bands? First off, we have Season of Surrender by August Burns Red. Yes, it does.
That is a name that I hadn't heard in a long time before I just read it just a moment ago. I was like, whoa, okay.
There's also Neon Summer Skin by Bedouin. Hum of Hurt by Converge. I Built You a Tower by Death Cab for Cutie. Yes, that Death Cab. We also have Sanctuary by Evanescence. Yes, that Evanescence.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Also, Bitch by Lizzo. Yes,
Whoa.
that Lizzo.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm just saying what the album is. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's just
calling
the name.
you bitch. I'm calling the album bitch. We also have An Eraser and a Maze by Modest Mouse. Yeah, that Modest Mouse.
Yeah.
There's also Dinner Party by Niall Horan. Yes, that Neil Horan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crybaby by Vince Staples. Yep, that Vince Staples. We also have Coinomatic by Deer Trick. Beer.
Dear Tick.
It's not a beer trick.
Yeah.
It's a
No.
deer tick.
Tick. There you go. You got there.
We also have Aethermead by Of Montreal.
Yeah.
Union Made by Old Crow Medicine Show. Yep, those old crows and their medicine show.
Yes.
There's also Roses by Widow Speak.
Mhm.
And lastly, Grateful by Red Clay, the Red Clay Strays, which I
Yes.
feel you only put that up here because I'm going to be talking about it later.
No, actually, it was just happened to be on the list of new releases, and I put it last on purpose because that would be a segue for you to say I will be talking about that later.
Okay. Oh, wow. Now, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I also saw a Barry Manilow album out.
I didn't see that on my list.
I thought I saw that this morning when I was looking at, what should I
Hmm.
listen to?
Not Barry Manilow is what you said.
You're right, because What a Time by Barry Manilow is also out this week.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Well, let's get into some music news before I talk about those Red Clay Strays.
Yes.
And we're going to go to country. Speaking of Red Clays, country star Alan Jackson is still on tour.
Yeah.
Kind of. For
For now.
now, he was diagnosed a while back, and he has finally announced his farewell concert. It'll be set for June 29th in Nashville, and it will be filmed for an NBC special to be titled Alan Jackson, The Last Show, with an unspecified air date later in 2026. October. Uh, it's always going to be in October. I don't know why they try and leave it up to like guessing. It's always going to be in October. The special is being directed by Sam Wrench, best known for the 2023 feature film Taylor Swift: The Eras Tour and Hannah Montana 20th Anniversary Special,
Yes.
and specials in other concert films, including with Sabrina Carpenter, La Fée, BTS, Brandi
Later.
Carlile, Billie Eilish, Andrea Bocelli, and Mumford and Sons.
Indeed. Yes. I thought that would be interesting, especially for you, a fan, to
Yes,
know that
when
you're
I
going
saw
to
you
be
put
able
that,
to
I was
see
like,
that.
"Oh, you're putting it just for me, aren't you?"
I mean, it's probably the most relevant music story. I mean, the side story that I can just talk about briefly is that Charlie XCX did announce the name and album cover for upcoming rock record. It's just called Music, Fashion, Film. That is the title of that album.
That's it.
Yes. And to double down on this concept, have you seen the cover of this album?
No, is it not
I,
green?
okay, this is perfect. Look this up
Okay,
because I want to get your reaction. I
so
bet you'll
Charlie
recognize one of the
XCX
people.
album
Yeah.
cover. What's it called?
Music, fashion, film.
Music, comma fashion, comma film. All right, images. Is this wait? Is this Martin Scorsese on it?
I knew you were going to recognize Martin Scorsese right away. Do you know who the other two people are?
I'm confused as to how she is like kind of like photoshopping herself into this image.
Wait, what? Are you looking at a meme?
No, I'm looking at the wait, is this not the look at the story then?
I think you might be looking at something that is talking about the cover, but not the cover
Yes,
itself.
I think looking at uh the enemy.
Yeah, no, the cover is just the three of these gentlemen in black and white.
Okay. Nope, that doesn't give it to me. No, I just looked up image and that's the first one that popped up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay, here we go. So let's see. Martin Scorsese, Mark Jacobs,
yes,
and I don't know the other person.
that is musician John Cale.
Doesn't ring a bell.
So yeah, I guess this is what you would call a flex. That Charlie was able to get three people that she presumably idolizes in the same room to take a picture and be the cover of her album. I'll talk a little bit more about this when I talk about the movie that I watched this week in the movie section. So stay tuned.
Oh, you did watch The Moment.
Yeah, I'll talk about it. We'll
Okay.
get there. All right.
I
Anyway,
didn't get a chance to watch it. I saw that it was available. I didn't get a
well,
chance
you
to watch
watched
it.
the other thing that I haven't gotten a chance to watch that I want to watch. So we'll talk
Yes.
about both of those at the end of the show. But first, let's move
First,
on.
yeah, let's go back to Alan Jackson because we already have 17 artists lined up for said
Yes.
farewell gig, including Lainey Wilson, George Strait, Luke Combs, Cody Johnson, Luke Bryan, Eric Church, Miranda Lambert, Riley Green, Little Big Town, Carrie Underwood, Jake Owen, John Party, Thomas Rhett, and Leanne Womack. Did I create this lineup in my head?
I think you might have.
Because I might have.
Yeah.
I like all of these acts. Even Riley Green, who didn't get a chance to perform as stagecoach. That's due to the winds and not due to like him not being able to perform.
Yeah, right. Good point.
But yeah, this will take place in Nashville at the Nissan Stadium. Big blowout concert. And yeah, I expect this to be on NBC and Peacock.
Yeah,
I'm gonna guess, like I said, mid-October for this.
that makes sense.
All right.
Okay, well, look forward to that.
All right. We'll look forward to that and we'll get to thoughts. Did you
Yeah.
listen to anything?
No, but it does look like that you have something to talk about.
Yes, I do. The Red Clay Strays. A lot of you may not have heard of them.
No.
For those in the country scene, they were actually nominated at the CMAs for Best Band because they split Best Duo and Best Band because there's a lot
Oh,
of duos out there, and
right.
then Best Group is separate.
Right.
So they were nominated for their latest or their past album and their past acts. So I have heard of them, especially having listened to a lot of more uh, like Southern rock country. That's where they kind of hail from. This album, Grateful is the name, is a lot more country infused rockabilly. A lot more of those fast piano keys, a lot more of those great guitar riffs. It does remind me a lot of the storytelling elements that Eric Faulkner does uh, with Turnpike Troubadours,
Hmm.
also one of my favorite bands. So I did really enjoy this album. I
Cool.
know this album's not going to be for everybody,
Yeah.
but if you want some of that kind of classic country sound, also some a lot of that like rockabilly, like guitars, like especially on the piano, just it opens up with a really, really great piano soundtrack to it, and it just goes from there, and it goes places, both in the music and lyrics. So if you want to like dip your toe into something that may not be for you, but at the same time may just be like a hidden gem that you're just now finding, you could try it with this one. And then you can also try their back catalog as well. So this would be a good introduction for anyone who doesn't know who they are, because there's a lot of good sounds and a lot of good vibes on this album.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll like be one of my top albums come the end of the year,
Sure.
but as turns like a recommend for someone who for people who may not be into the country scene, they are definitely a good introduction of there's a lot more out there than pop country that you may be more familiar with. And then you also don't have it on here, but
Hmm.
Taylor Swift put out a new song today.
Yes. Did you listen to this today?
I did not because I'm saving it for the movie.
Um, okay. That's not a bad choice, to see how it's used thematically in the film. I listened to this thing and I really liked it. Although I do want to say for people who are like, "Oh, it's Taylor going back to country," I do want to lower your expectations on that end a little bit. I do think that people just apparently think at this point a song with a guitar in it means that Taylor's going back to country. It's not quite that. Don't think first album Taylor. You're going
Did
down the
everyone just
wrong
miss
direction.
folklore and Evermore? Did we all forget
You know
about
what?
that?
It's like it's even different than that. I think it's still more of a pop song than it is a country song, is what I will say. That being said, I think it's very good. Jack Antonoff is back, and you can tell because it's a production that sounds alive and a lot better than what we got from the recent Showgirl era songs. Yeah, I think it's really good. I like the chorus. There's a certain chord progression that happens in the part of the chorus that just worked every time for me. I really enjoy it. And if you like harmonica and horns, you're gonna have a good time with this one.
But if you don't want to listen to it and you'll be surprised, you will see it in the upcoming Toy Story 5
Yeah,
film.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on then into video games, where we start with new releases,
We do.
including Gothic Remake for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. We also have Solar Punk for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and the Switch 2.
Yeah.
There's Lost Castle 2 for the PC, and lastly, NBA The Runs for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X.
Yep.
All right. Well, it's that time of year again where everyone gathers in LA for the convention center and storms the hallways for E3.
Well, it's E3 in spirit, but
In
no,
my heart, it's always E3.
no, it's Summer Games Fest is the current thing that happens in LA where everybody gathers. So it kind of is one thing, but it's also become kind of our term for everything that happens within the couple weeks radius. That includes the PlayStation State of Play, which kicked off things earlier this week. Summer Games Fest, the actual show, which happened today, literally ended right before we recorded. And will include the Xbox showcase that will happen later, I believe, this weekend, and a Nintendo Direct that is scheduled, at least rumored to be scheduled, but pretty much going to happen sometime early next week. So you have all your major, and this also encompasses, of course, smaller shows like the PC Games Show, the Wholesome Direct, Day of the Devs. There's all sorts of little things that kind of satellite things that are happening as well.
Yep. And we're going to start with that PlayStation State of Play.
Yeah.
And we're going to go run through a lot of these because there's a lot to
Yeah.
get through.
How
And,
about you just kind of run through it, and then if there's one you actually want to talk about, because this was a very Mike heavy state of play. I got
oh,
a
it was.
lot of things that you specifically are would be excited for. Overall, I got PS2 vibes
Mhm.
throughout this whole thing. The character action game is back, like in full force. And the last thing they showed off is something that I'm sure you are dying to get your hands
Oh,
on
we'll get
already.
there because we're going to start with the stuff that they announced with actual launch dates,
Yes.
including Dynasty Warriors 3, Complete Edition Remastered, coming October 1st of this year. But then the next day, October 2nd, we get Ace Combat 8, Wings of Thief.
Good name.
It's a great name. Also,
Also,
great to see the Ace Combat series back.
Strange Reel mentioned.
Uh, Also, I kind of forgot that was an actual story progress game for Ace
Yeah,
Combat.
yeah, I think a lot of people don't know about that whole thing and what the Strange Reel is and all that stuff. That is a fascinating franchise. And if anybody listening to this doesn't know what we're talking about, just do yourself a favor, go to the Wikipedia entry for the Ace Combat franchise and just dive deep into that Strange Reel. You know you want to know.
Also coming in October is No Rest for the Wicked, the full 1.0 release from Moon Studios. Marathon gave us its second season, Nightfall,
Yes,
which is actually out right now.
it's out now alongside a sale for the game and also a free week for players who want to jump in and try it for a little bit.
Yep. Now, if you haven't played Dave the Diver, like me, you'll be happily surprised to know that Bancho, the chef, looks absolutely fun, and I'm
Yeah,
kind of interested more in that than Dave the Diver.
that looks fun.
We also have The Lost Wild, which was officially announced. Not a whole lot to go off of. Same with Ill, which I thought was going to be like a Resident Evil Village, when it showed Ill.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I guess not. This is its own thing.
it looks gross. I'm sorry. I'm getting to the point where I can start I can tell almost immediately when there's a European shooter because that game had European shooter all over it. Just like the vibes are just off for me. I'm just like a creepy. I don't know.
We also had Marvel Token Fighting Souls with its new look ahead of its August 6th launch. Speaking of horror, Silent Hill, Townfall will come out on September the 24th. Also coming in September the 22nd, Dune Awakening. Of course, ahead of Dune Part 3 in December. There's also Phantom Blade Zero, which looked cool. Um, and then we have the second or the sequel, Control: Resonant, which you can now go out and pre-order because that's coming out September 24th.
Yep, yep.
But then the next day, September 25th, you get your hands on Onimusha: Way of the Sword. And that's from Capcom.
Yep.
A game I was surprised to see, Rayman Legends Retold.
Yes.
You keep out, I was like, wait, is that Rayman? Turns out, yes, it was Rayman.
Sure is. I liked Rayman Legends. That's a good game, and this makes it 3D and adds some modes and stuff. So, sure, why not?
Yeah. Apparently, that one's getting an October 1st release date, unless it gets pushed back. We also have Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis for February 12th,
Just
2027.
as a little reminder, this is the game that is the remake of Tomb Raider 1. This is not the completely brand new Lara Croft game. This is the remake, just because I saw a lot of people confused.
We also have Kimuri coming next year, 2027. We also have Stuntman Hollywood,
Yes,
which
that man.
I was kind of like, oh, you're piquing my interest here with all the different Hollywood vehicles in here.
I know. As soon as I saw the DeLorean, I was like, "Oh, Mike's gonna really want this too."
Well, because I thought it was, oh, this is going to be another Need for Speed game because it
Yeah.
had the Supra at the
No.
beginning. And then
No.
it's yeah, Back to the Future, the Knight Rider. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Uh-huh. Fun fact that'll like even double down on this. So the developer of this, Saber Interactive, also does the Jurassic Park Evolution games. And guess what? What they didn't show because of rights reasons, there is Jurassic Park stunts in this game. So you will have that too.
That's what's that's what's got me really interested in this is because of the different vehicles and the different kind of IP they get to play around with in this.
Right. Yeah. It's cool.
There is no release date for it, but I expect it next year. Also coming next year from Supermassive is Until Dawn 2, the sequel. And it looks great. It looks fun. Looks like another one of those. And it looks like Until Dawn, and same with the other horror anthologies as they go through. But I do love me some Until Dawn too. Some Until Dawn
Yeah.
also.
Also,
Yes, because
not
Until
the
Dawn 2
movie,
is
so
not
you
out
didn't see
yet.
that.
Yep. But we should also mention that they opened the show with Marvel's Wolverine, the best non-kept secret out there. But best kept secret was how bloody this thing was. I didn't know
Yeah.
Insomniac could get all that bloody into it.
Yeah, man, that was intense. I mean, it looks fun. It looks like that the if you're gonna make a Wolverine game, that does seem to be the way to do it. But
I was saying, where's the butt?
you're
I know
right.
it's coming.
It is incredibly violent. So just know that going in. This will be a hard M.
Yeah, oh, it says rating pending, but you know it's going to be a
Oh, yeah.
hard,
You can't
hard
make a
M.
game that bloody and not have that happen.
All right. But PlayStation was not without its final announcement. At the very end, Santa Monica Studios came out and announced God of War Lao Fei, not the singer.
Leve is how you pronounce it. But yes,
Lao
I
Fei.
know this confused me because so here's what happened with me with the state of play. I was still at work, and so I caught like when it was starting. So I basically as soon as I got home, I watched the like I turned on the like the replay. And so I was watching this right before I was watching this thing. So PlayStation's YouTube account already had like switched over, assuming that we saw it. And
Mhm,
so I saw briefly Leve, and I was like, "Wait, what?" Because like not knowing any like God of War lore, I
mhm.
was like, "Are they talking about the singer? Like what?" What is this? I don't know. Like, what? This is super weird. And so I was like, I guess I'm just gonna watch this thing and find out.
The crossover between people who understand God of War and people who understand the singer is like a line, and you are on that line.
Yeah, I'm on that line. So yeah, there's so few of us. Yeah, so I thought that was weird, but overall, yeah, funny.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, I'm not sure what to think of this.
yeah,
Um, I know I'm gonna play it, and I'm probably gonna enjoy it. I do love with the stylistic choice and the aesthetic of single action cut, no cut action to
yeah.
this that God of War is known for. Um, the guys at I think it was IGN or maybe it was GameSpot were talking about this afterward, and they're like, "Well, I've seen that trick already, so I'm not more impressed with it." I was like, "But that's the style that they're going for. Like, that's the thing they're known for the God of War games,
Right.
is that it's all like continuous." And he's like, "Well, I've seen it." I was like, "I'm not really impressed with that anymore." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine, but you can't be mad at it because that's part of what the God of War games are." But yeah, it'd be interesting seeing the different mythologies going in here. I guess this is how they're going to get around having actual Kratos go to each different mythology and have them
Hmm.
all meet in this kind of afterlife setting. I think it might kind of cheats it a bit, also with like God of War not being the God of War that you're playing as, or like the goddess of war.
I don't know. I think it's fair game to do like a spin-off in this universe.
Oh, I'm not saying, I'm not doubting the spell. I'm just saying that if you don't have God of War in the title and you just call it LaFay, then you kind of like lose like what the game actually is because it is set in the God of War universe.
Mhm.
But then you got to figure out, okay, who is the actual God of War in charge here? It'd be kind of funny, ironic, cool. I'm not sure exactly where I land on it if it does um, end up being Ares as the big bad here. It's kind of like a full circle moment
Mhm.
because Faye is not the god of war in Norse mythology. That's Tyr. We already went through that.
But as a game, what did you think? I know you're getting caught up in lore, but like,
Oh,
no,
as a game, I
yeah,
liked it. I liked that it's going to sword, hack and slash, with heavy use of magic. I know there's a lot of weird internet out there, kind of going back and forth on the gelatinous cube companion. And there's a lot of people who go back and forth on whether having the talking head in the God of War games is both good and bad because it doesn't because he fills the dead space with lore, but
yeah,
also other people are like, well, he doesn't shut up. Why doesn't he just shut up? But it looks good. Looks like a God of War game. I was not expecting this, so it's a happy surprise that it's here for me.
yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. And that you gotta love a gelatinous cube.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Deliciously slurping them up.
Don't drink him. He's there to
No?
help you.
Okay. Yeah. Help you
Yeah,
with your life by healing.
yeah, I'm all for it. I think it looks cool. I think it makes sense because Kratos' story is kind of done. So yeah, like
I
it
mean,
makes
we like
sense
to
for them to
think
branch
he's
out.
done.
Yeah. So it's like, I get why they would want to expand the horizons of what the franchise could be. So I think it's cool.
All right. Well, we have actual Summer Games Fest news to talk about.
Yes.
And I'm just going to start at the bottom here and work our way up because this
Yes.
was 9 a.m. through, let's call it 5 p.m. here. So, for the past 8 hours, here's everything you need to know that has happened over Summer Games Fest. Starting with Paramount making a new game studio, Paramount Game Studio. This comes from the merger of Paramount and Skydance, and its titles will start off with that Marvel 1943 game, The Rise of Hydra, as well as an untitled Star Wars game. So they're already working with Disney. Looks like
Yeah.
they haven't pulled them.
Okay.
Uh, Apparently, there will also be a new AAA title announced, but we will get to that one when
Yeah,
we
we'll
get
get there.
there. We also had Minecraft Dungeons 2 coming in September for all you Minecraft people out there.
Mhm.
There's also Capcom is remaking Resident Evil, Code Veronica. But it's coming 2027 to the PS5, Xbox Series X, and the Switch 2.
Also, they're dropping the code. It's just Resident Evil Veronica.
Is that Code Veronica? Oh, no, they're not.
The reveal logo just said Veronica on it. So I'm
Sorry.
going to guess that that is the title of that video game.
Yes, the original game was called
Right.
Code
That's what I'm
Veronica.
saying. They're dropping the code this time.
Oh, okay.
You know, like just Facebook.
Yes, drop the code.
Just the.
All right. We also have the Xenomorphs are back with Alien, Isolation 2.
Yeah.
And that's coming out on everything. No release date just yet.
When they said the first one was 12 years ago, I definitely had one of those, oh God, time moments. It feels like a new game to me.
All right. Well, the studio, or sorry, the director behind Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, and Last Guardian has showed off his new sci-fi shooter titled Gen Atlas. No further details have come out, but will be available, you know, on modern games. I assume that's going to be 2027, if not 2028 release date. We also had another TMNT game. Platinum Games will be developing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin. And this is the rumored and newly announced Paramount Game Studio.
Yeah,
So working within their own IP for Ninja Turtles.
sure. Yeah, why not?
There's also a new survival game called Hacks. I believe it's
Not,
called Hacks.
yeah, I know. When they said that, we were confused too. We were like, wait, what? You can't just call something that.
I called Hacks. It's a Haex.
Yeah.
Hacks.
Hey, hey.
Hakes. It's coming out next year. So we have 2027 to figure out how to call it. We also have an extremely hard game. Sorry, an egg
Egg.
extremely hard game
Yes.
where you are a goose trying to parrot your little eggs home. Uh, it looks fun. I believe this is from the same people who did the Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah. We got another look at that Star Wars Galactic Racers. This time you do get your Sebulba.
Yes, everybody who begged for it.
Yes, like, fine, here it is. Here's your
Here he
reveal.
is.
You happy? You're gonna
Yeah.
buy it now? Where are those pre-orders now? We also got Virtua Fighter Crossroads.
Yep. It's got Britney Spears in it. Wait, no, not that Crossroads. Sorry.
There will be a dedicated Crossroads show later as well if you want to get all your cross-roading in,
Yes.
your off-roading, cross-roading.
Yeah.
Well, we also have the next game from the Assassin's Creed creator titled 1666 Amsterdam.
Yeah.
If you're curious about it, there will be a free demo to play available now,
Yeah, sure.
but only on the PC and Steam. But hey, if that doesn't pique your interest, there is a playable cat attached to it.
Hell yeah. Gotta love a playable cat.
We also have another Star Wars game. This one will be an XCOM-like Star Wars game called Zero Company,
Yeah.
and that will come out on August 27th.
This is a great idea. I mean, two tastes that go great together are Star Wars and strategy games. They've done it in the past, and this will work again. Like, I think strategy nerds will absolutely love that. Because speaking of Venn diagrams, That's just a circle. Like if you are a super Star Wars person, like you love Star Wars, you probably also have played a lot of strategy games.
We also have the next Among Us story on God.
Mhm.
Uh, that will be 10 episodes available to stream on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, it's not a game, it's a TV show.
Yes, surprise! As that anime series that was announced back in 2023.
Yes.
So I guess I could watch that with Paramount Plus while I still have it.
Or you don't have to.
Oh, I don't have to? Oh, thank you for telling me I
Yeah,
don't have
yeah,
to.
I'm freeing you from that. You don't have to do that.
All right. We got our first look at the DLC for 007 First Light. And it's Lenny Kravitz, everybody.
More Lenny Kravitz.
Yes. More Lenny Kravitz awaits for you.
What everybody wanted.
All right. We also have a massive expansion coming to Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance. Or it'll be titled Ascendance. We also have Sonic Racing and Godzilla and TMNT
And
and Pico Park
and
and what am I missing here?
the weirdest one, and Evangelion.
That's not in here, but okay. All in Sonic Racing?
All in Sonic Racing, yes.
What is Sonic Racing?
It's just whatever Sega owns. That's the answer.
All right. Well, we also have, let's see here, Attack on Titan game titled Attack on Titan. We also have Pal World 1.0 coming in July. For those of you who
That
couldn't get enough Pal World,
really weirded me out. I was like, wait, hey, I thought they were already at 1.0.
I guess they were early access while the Nintendo
Yeah,
lawsuit was pending.
dang.
We got The Wolf Among Us 2 coming out in 2027. Uh, whereas The Wolf Among Us Remastered is set to come out on holiday season. We got some new characters for for Street Fighter 6 Year
Yes.
4, and it's Final
Including,
Fantasy VII Tifa.
yes, yes.
And then we also have Grand Theft Auto 6 is wrapping the video game release calendar with its big keynote speech. But that wasn't the big news to come out. As you mentioned, Final Fantasy VII has its trilogy will be concluding, and it has the reveal trailer, and it will be titled Final Fantasy VII Revelation.
Yes.
We had remake, rebirth, and revelation.
Yes.
That'll be coming in spring 2027. Game of the year 2027. Clear your calendar. Sorry, Grand Theft Auto 6. You will no longer, you have to move your launch date now, another
Well,
year.
yeah. That's this year, remember, not next year. So it won't be Game of the Year 2027. It's Game of the Year this year, if it's good.
Oh, you're assuming it's not going to be moved back?
No, they said it's for sure November. Like there's nothing crazy that'll happen last minute, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Put that out into the world. I don't know how to feel about the Revelation name, though.
Yeah.
Because I like how it was like remake and then rebirth. Because there's no like velation out there. You can't velate something.
Maybe you can't.
Oh, you want to see me velate? I'll velate so hard you won't know what's happening.
Ugh.
But yeah, then you revelation. Like I
Yeah, I
want
don't know.
like the birth, the make, the birth,
It
the
sounds
union.
like you're
Everyone was
just
voting for
yeah.
reunion. Should have been reunion. I'm
It
still gonna
sounds
make
like
it.
you're
Reunion.
just gonna have to play the game and find out why it's called that.
Am I gonna be velated that it's called that?
Maybe so.
Or am I gonna be revelated that it's called that?
Yeah, you're gonna be revelated, I think.
Well, we'll get all up in that revolution in spring of 2027, which likely means, what was that then? May, June, May?
Yeah.
Because no, summer starts in June, July, and August. So it's
Right. So yeah,
May.
by the end of May, that thing should be out.
Yep. I'll put in my PTO right now for an entire week. I will book a hotel for an entire week. You will not see me, and you should not see what that room looks like after.
Yeah, you're just gonna be off the grid, just a full Costco pizza, completely eaten, just like yeah, just be feral.
Well, what do I eat for the rest of the meals?
Yes,
What
any
do I eat
pizza
after the
can be
opening
a personal
credits?
pizza if you try hard enough.
It
Yes.
is.
Anyway, okay, cool. So yeah, that's kind of it. That went faster than I thought it was going to.
Let's see, unless there's any more updates. Let me refresh this real quick.
Honestly, I thought it was kind of a disappointing show for me, which I think is
Mhm.
the second row in the year in a row where that's been the case. I feel like Summer Games Fest announcements just tend to be games that I just personally don't care about, and that's just me. But for everybody who is very excited, especially about Final Fantasy, I am excited for you, and I'm glad that you're excited. I honestly got way more out of the State of Play, which is the first time I've said that about a Sony show in a long time. Typically,
Wow.
their games are not of my interest, but it just felt like video games, and this just felt like trailers for games I just don't want to play.
I mean, outside of Final Fantasy VII and
Sl-
maybe the Star Wars XCOM game.
yeah, it's kind of slim pickings. I don't know.
Hmm.
Here's hoping that either Microsoft or Nintendo has something real crazy up their sleeves in the next few days because right now, just not feeling the energy. Just not doing it for me. But hey, we'll see.
Yep. Day of the Dev is currently going on right now.
Yes.
We have the announcement for Threads of Time. So if you like Chrono Trigger JRPGs,
Hmm.
Threads of Time might be right up your
Oh,
alley.
I will let Christy know.
And then there's also something called Apple Crumble, which is the
Delicious.
team behind Duck Detective. And they announced what they described as a Knives Out inspired mystery.
Oh, geez, I gotta tell her about that one too.
It'll be launching on PC at some point this year by Happy Broccoli Games.
Oh my God. I have to send that to her right now. I think she'll get a kick out of all of that.
This was literally just announced as of 15 minutes ago. As Day of the Dev continues Summer Games Fest. And yes, we have the rest of the Day of the Dev here. Like you said, we'll have the Xbox Showcase this upcoming weekend. We will also have that Nintendo Showcase, Treehouse, Explanation, whatever they want to call it, where they announce the rest of the games at some point next week. There's no way they're going to wait another extra week for that to happen. Uh, but yeah, like I said, what was E3? And you have just 3 days right when school ended. You could just sit back, turn on what was G4, and watch what was Adam Sessler and what was Morgan Webb.
Oh God. You're
And
really going way too far back in the timeline right
well,
now.
that's why I keep saying with what was, because they're not
Yeah.
current, right?
Oh God, no.
Right?
You don't want to see what Adam Sessler's been up to for the last 5 years. Just don't Google it. Trust
I
me.
don't.
Do not Google it.
Oh, I assumed he was put up on his Sessler soapbox and then just left there as
Oh, yeah, no.
everyone turned
He's
off
been
all lights except for one spotlight and one microphone for him.
Yes, he's been on the soapbox, and that soapbox has been getting real disgusting over the years. He's got some real questionable opinions. Let me tell you, you don't want to know.
All right. Well, what I want to know is, are you guys going to play any of these games? If anything sounds interesting, hit us up on mediaboatpodcast@gmail.com because I can tell you what I've been playing. And
Yeah.
Matt, I think you've been playing this too.
I played a little bit of it, less than I thought I was going to, just
Ooh.
because time got out of hand. I do plan on coming back to it, but I don't know how long. But yes, tell me what you thought about MLB The Show Mobile.
Yes. Shortly, like literally shortly after we
Yes.
wrapped up last week's episode, you got the surprise email saying, "Hey, this is out now. Go play." Like no fanfare, no trailer, no announcement, just email. Go get it. Um, so I downloaded it. I've been playing it. I am currently only playing the moment daily missions. I haven't really gone into like PvP style. So far, it's really bare bones for kind of what you get in it. And
Yeah.
honestly, a lot of the players, most, I don't know, I'm just picking like whoever's got the best stats here
Hmm.
and whoever's got like the better bonus that I can get for it.
Yeah. I
And that
think,
that might just be because there are so many MLB players, both current and past, that you can't just have the stars or
yeah,
the studs, the
right.
ones you know.
Yeah. The thing about this game is when you call something MLB The Show Mobile, I do think that there's a little bit of an expectation there. I think that there's somewhat of an expectation for it to be at least similar to the experience you have on console, or at least to evoke the experience that you're playing the show on console. And I do think that what they've actually made here is not that. What they've made here is a deck builder. It feels like this was a project that they started that Sony may have been like, hey, San Diego Studios, the mobile market right now is all about Marvel Snap. This has been a huge hit. We want to maybe figure out how we can get into this market, right? And they were thinking, well, you already have a card mechanic like in your game, MLB The Show. Why don't you think about a way to incorporate the existing card mechanic you have already with your stubs currency and all that stuff into a game that evokes the same kind of quick pick up and play kind of gameplay as a Marvel Snap? And voila, they came up with this. It's not bad. I think that there's a kernel of an idea there. But again, it's all about expectations, right? And to what you're saying, I think people are coming in expecting I'm going to play a baseball game with my favorite players are probably going to be disappointed with the actual moment to moment thing that you're doing here. You're collecting players, but you're really only picking the people who are going to have the highest number. And the actual gameplay is pretty simple and doesn't actually, they say is all skill based, but like doesn't seem to be like, there doesn't seem to have a very high skill ceiling there. I will say, hitting is harder than pitching, at least in my opinion.
Oh, I'm the opposite. I think hitting
Really?
is easier.
Oh, I am having a hard time with hitting
I
consistently.
I hit consistently. I just also consistently hit into outs and
Oh,
hit home runs. But at least I
I
like
get,
consistently make
yeah.
contact with the ball.
I feel like I'm playing about the same as a real person plays baseball, which is to say, I'm mostly like striking out, and occasionally I'll get a decent hit.
I don't think I've struck
Um,
out. I think I keep putting anything into play.
I've struck out multiple times. However, I am an ace pitcher on the mound. I can pretty much just like get those corners like perfectly, and I rarely get hits. Sounds like we need to trade off. Just one phone, just passing it back and forth
Come
with each
with
other.
our powers combined,
Yeah,
we will
right. Like,
both suck at hitting and pitching.
yeah, exactly. Um, so yeah, I do think that ultimately it's kind of, I don't know, fluffy of an experience. It just seems like not enough there, like you said. Like I think
Yeah,
that
I don't think it's what you expected it to be.
I
Because
don't
to
think
me,
it's
this
what
is more
anyone.
like the Ultimate Teams,
But it's
where
not even that because you don't even play full games. I
right,
will say
you don't
that
play
I
full
think,
games, you don't set your
yeah,
lineup. It's just like
no,
you said, it gives you four options.
yeah,
You usually pick the highest number or best contact, and then
yeah.
you go with that.
You're just like, hey, I leveled this guy up. He's already like he's a legend. He's already like in the like 80 range. I'm gonna put him on as my shortstop and like call it a day and just do that for every position.
Mhm.
And then you're pretty much then the game it doesn't play itself per se, but everything's pretty intuitive and it just goes. Like the fielding. way easier than I imagined it would be. Like you're just like as long as you press the buttons in the right order, you're not gonna screw up. Like you can pretty
Mhm.
much field cleanly. There's gonna be no errors in this game, like unless you really miss a prompt. And I just don't see that happening for most people. It's
It's
a
it's
weird thing.
it's very basic and like I said, bare
Hmm.
bones of what you kind of expect for a baseball game. But to put MLB's name on
Hmm.
this, I think
It's
is what's
yeah.
gonna I won't say sours most people's like tastes on it, but definitely gonna give them hesitate like not hesitation to download it, but definitely hesitation to keep coming back to it.
Yeah, I think that they have a lot to prove with this as a live service kind of platform. They're going to have to put more in this game, I think, if they want people to come back to it for long periods of time and, I don't know, spend money on it. Because if you look at the shop in that game, they're already expecting power users. They're like saying, like, if you want to spend 20, $50 on packs, you can do that in this game. I just don't feel like I know who will do that. Like, unless they want to treat this like it's Pokemon trading card pocket and just collect. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, but even the collection, like you can't level up your cards unless you play them. And you're not
Yeah.
gonna play the bad players if you have good players.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. But we'll check back in if they do make any major updates. Like, I might play a little bit more of this because I do enjoy what is there for when it's happening, but
Actually, I've
that's not
played the
much.
dailies on this, the moments, daily moments,
The
and
moments
I
are
get
cool.
through it in about
Yeah.
20 minutes. And I
Yeah.
really don't think about it until noon the next day when it kicks over.
Yeah. I do like it as a concept. I think it's good to have those because you don't want to just play real people over again because that's just going to be the too samey over and over again. So I'm glad they're there, but you're right. There needs to be more of that.
Mhm.
And yeah, this is going to be a work in progress for them for a while.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
All right. Anyways, let's talk about actual baseball as we move into the sports corner.
yes, let's do that.
Baseball is currently happening, unless you're Aaron Judge, in which case it's no longer happening for you.
Apologies to everybody who has that judge on their fantasy team, including you.
Hey, that's okay. I scoured the waiver wire and was
Yes,
surprised to pick up Braxton.
I'm not surprised.
I am because he's like a top five home run hitter right now.
Yeah, home run hitter. Yeah, sure.
That's all I care about.
That is what your name implies. Yes.
Yes. But
Yeah.
if you are into like seeing your player be considered one of the best, All-Star voting is currently
Yes.
open as of the 3rd. You can vote up to 5 times on the MLB website all the way until June 25th. But you have to give your login, you have to give email, or you have to give an email and a name and a Beverly Hills 90210 area code. Not that I would ever do
Yeah.
something like that.
No, you
No,
would never.
no, I'm just saying you out there, the audience,
Yeah.
have the power to either sign up or put new login every single time,
Could do that.
up to 5 times a day
Yeah.
for your favorite player.
Mhm.
Players.
Yeah. We're not telling you what to do, but
Yeah.
do what you want to do.
Um, yeah. But yeah, other than that, MLB continues to be MLB, continues to chug along. Injuries continue to hound different teams.
Yes.
And yeah, otherwise, the MLB owners meeting was last week, but we talked about
Yes.
the big thing that came out
Yeah.
of it
We talked about that
last
last
week.
week. Yep.
So let's move on to the playoffs
Yes.
as the NBA playoffs continue to chug along with the Knicks and the Spurs in the finale.
I
They
was
are,
able to watch game one, and it was pretty wild.
it was really good. It's exactly
Yeah.
what the NBA needs, not the Oklahoma City Thunder coming in and presumably dominating over the Knicks.
Right. These are
You
two
want
competitive
competitive
teams
teams.
that are relatively at the same level. There's a lot of back and forth happening. Yeah. I want to use this podcast as a platform to apologize for anything that I may have said about basketball in the past. I think, if not a complete convert, It is getting me. I feel like I've like a fish that has seen the hook and like I'm nibbling on it and maybe it's getting getting the hook in my mouth. I'm not quite there yet, but like I'm not reeled in, but like I'm maybe on the bait is I guess the way I'm putting it. Because
Would
between these
you?
finals and the WNBA games I've been
Mhm.
watching, I'm like, ooh, okay, I get why people love basketball because it's exciting. It moves quickly. There's never a dull moment. Like it's just like boom, 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 action. And like that is interesting as a fan of baseball, which is not paced like that,
I know.
but I like for other reasons. I get why people are like into that vibe. And it is a good breath of fresh air after watching a lot of baseball. I do think they balance each other out in an interesting way. And I don't see why you can't like both. So yes, I will say I get it. I do get it now. Anyway.
Would you like to quote Shaq in your revelation?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Yes, to quote the meme, I was not familiar with this game.
Yes.
Thank you for the setup for that. I should have said that, but yes, that was good.
It's okay. You got there with the assist. But if you think basketball is fast, let me introduce you to basketball on ice, as hockey is currently going with the
Okay.
Stanley Cup Finals.
To be fair, I have seen my share of hockey games. I've been to hockey games, which is something I haven't done with professional basketball. So I also understand hockey also is like has that speed. But it feels more like soccer to me, where it has the speed, but there's also a lot of okay, all right,
Fighting.
they're passing
You're waiting
to
for a
each
goal to
other.
happen.
I'm waiting for
Yes.
something to happen. And then it gets exciting in the last 2 minutes. Like basketball, it feels like you don't have to wait for that action. It's just going. Like you're going back and forth, back and forth. Hockey that happens, but at a much slower pace than maybe like I'm like, I get it. I don't hate hockey. It's just that I don't feel yet that I'm to the point where I want to watch a lot of hockey.
All right.
Anyway,
Well, the Las Vegas Knights and the Carolina Hurricanes are in the finals, and that series is split 1-1.
yes.
And I believe by next week we will have our champions crowned,
I
unless they
think
go to
so.
game sevens. Then they play on the weekend.
Yeah.
All right. But this upcoming weekend, we have a finale. Roland Garros, the French Open final is here. And we
Yeah.
have the number 2 seed in the men's section, Alexander Zverev versus number 10, Flavio Coppolini. Wait, was that right? I thought that's what I had, but I think I saw that was wrong, though. Uh, yes, Fernando Coppolini did end up winning, and he won today. That's what I saw, and will face off in the finals. Over in the women's section, we have number 8 seeded Mira Andreeva versus unseeded from Poland, Maja Chwalinska.
Sure. Yeah.
I believe Chwalinska, no, Mira Andreeva is ranked 8th, but is also only 19 years old.
Wow. Okay.
She is the youngin. Yep. 19 years old, born 2007.
Wow. Jeez.
So she has a chance to become one of, if not the youngest ever to win the French Open. And yeah, your normal like top seeded that you typically see here, nowhere to be found. Like Alexander Verez at number 2 is your highest seed here. At one point, we could have seen an all Italian finals in the men's
Yeah.
section, which would have been great, but did not happen. But yeah, I mean, this is what makes the opens so exciting that anyone at any given time can win in an open field.
It's true.
If you get on a roll, if you have some good matches, if you're able to fight the wind, because goddamn, it's been windy. at Roland Garros. You too can become a champion.
Good to know.
And lastly in sports, well, I don't know, almost lastly in sports, speaking of champions, we have crowned well, not a new champion, but we've crowned the Women's College World Series champion. And it's not new,
Yes.
it's a repeat. Texas.
I was able to watch a lot of this finals game, and yeah, it was, man, softball's so good.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait. We're literally a week away from the AUSL. So if you liked the performance of some of these players, well, let me tell you about an entire league of play that you're going to love in just 1 week, including some of the players who were in these finals that have already been drafted on professional teams. Get excited.
Wait, they immediately go and play right now? Well, I guess so, because it's
Yes.
June. They would have
Yes.
graduated. College is
Yes.
over.
Yes, yes. The pitcher, Kennedy,
Yes.
has already been drafted to the Portland Cascade and will be playing this season in the AOSL.
Probably Cascade is such a great name.
It's such a good name. Like if I wasn't already a big fan of the Utah Talons, I would have absolutely gone straight to the Cascade. But like I love my Talons because that's why. Anyway,
Anyways, congratulations
but yeah,
to
it was a good game.
uh, women's softball.
Yeah,
Go Texas Longhorns, women Longhorns. That's what I'm trying to
yeah, the
think of.
Longhorns.
Yeah. We're in the men's section. They're not done yet. They're in the super regional this upcoming weekend,
Yes.
and they're already down not one but two of the top teams. Number one ranked UCLA, number two ranked Georgia Tech have both been eliminated in the regional section, leaving number three Georgia as the last remaining top seeded team. Those super regionals are this upcoming weekend, with the finals occurring next weekend in Paint Man's favorite place, Omaha.
Yes, you just love to say it.
You love to see it. But yeah, that'll do it for the sports section.
It
We are
will.
slowly inching to the dog days of summer where the only thing that's going on is baseball.
Yeah. Although the WNBA continues, it is the Commissioner's Cup right now. So if you want even more
Oh,
basketball
the
action,
in-season tournament?
yes, exactly. It's their version of the same idea. This is actually, I believe, the first or second year that they've called it the Commissioner's Cup. But yes, that is currently happening right now. So check it out. If yeah, so if you want finish up the NBA finals and you want more basketball, there's more basketball. All right. Anyway, that means once we're done with sports, we can move on into television news here. And our story today takes us into the world of Netflix. Executive Chairman Reed Hastings, the company's co founder, who served as CEO for 25 years and drove it to become the world's leading premium streamer, officially departed the Netflix board following the June 4th annual shareholders meeting. Netflix said Hastings is leaving the board to, quote, focus on his philanthropy and other pursuits, end quote, which include tending to the Utah ski resort that he owns. With Hastings' departure, Jay Hogue, Netflix's lead independent director, who has served on the company's board since 1999, has been named chairman. Hogue has served as a founding general partner at venture capital firm Technology Crossover Ventures, also known as the TCV, since 1995. Hogue's appointment to the chairman role comes after shareholders last year voted to boot him as a director at the streamer's 2025 annual shareholder meeting, I'm guessing, with 78% of the shares voted on Hogue's reelection cast against him. That was over displeasure with his poor attendance at board meetings the year prior, with an attendance rate of just 50% in 2024. According to Netflix, the board selected Hogue as chairman, quote, given his valuable leadership and contributions to the board over the years when he showed up. Sorry, editor's note. He brings strategic insights and financial experience to the board when he shows up, providing unique perspectives on matters such as risk management, corporate governance, talent selection, and management when he
When he
shows up.
shows up.
Those, of course, were added by me, but still. Yeah, this is funny.
Yeah, I guess the board did not like that Netflix was unable to acquire Paramount.
Right.
And as such, even though Netflix stocks actually rose
Yeah, they
because they
did.
did not acquire Paramount,
Because they weren't
and
going to be in massive debt. That's
and
why.
Netflix actually acquired $2 billion from Paramount.
Right. But here's the thing is even though that's the case, we knew that there had to be some sort of corporate shakeup after something like that slips through their fingers, and here it is.
Sorry, Netflix taking over HBO.
Right.
Well, they were in for Paramount. They didn't get Paramount. They were
No.
then in the running for HBO at
I
the
knew
end
what
of
you're talking
last
about. The
year,
Warner deal. Yeah,
and
is what you were
then
referring
yeah,
to.
HBO and Warner, and then they didn't get the Warner deal. And so it's like, okay, well, if Reed Hastings can't close these deals, maybe he shouldn't lead the company. But
Well,
also 25 years, your stock's at like 300 points up from from the ground up.
yeah, it's tricky.
It's as we say here, it's a business.
Yeah, businesses are going to business, boards are going to board. We kind
Yep.
of, yeah, at this point, this, of course, is the way it went down.
This is also something that was both rumored out and discussed in December of last year. It was just kind of floating around there in the ether of will this happen? Won't this happen? Turns out it does. But, don't be too sad for Reed Hastings here. It's not like he's going away with nothing.
Yeah, exactly. No, they never do they? All right. That'll do it for that story. Any television thoughts this week? Anything that we want to talk about? I know last week we said we're kind of in the summer in between times right now.
Yep, we are in the doldrums of summer here.
Yes, so
There
not a whole
is
lot of
new
television.
stuff on Netflix.
Yeah,
I have not gotten a chance to watch it. 24 in 24 did wrap up, but again, cooking show is going to cook.
yeah. We know you don't. We don't need to talk about those. You either like them or you don't.
Yes.
All right. Well,
It's still
we'll
one of the
move.
better cooking competitions out there.
That's good. So if you want one, there's a good one.
Womp womp. Also, I did want to note that Rick and Morty did come back. I have
Yeah,
not watched the new episodes.
but it's there.
I'm going to wait for them all to appear on HBO streaming as they properly will
Yep.
mid-July. And basically, when the season's over and airing on Adult Swim, then they all get bombed on, or at least all the season entire drops on
Yeah.
HBO Max. I'll watch it then and I'll talk about it then. But
All
otherwise,
right.
it's Rick and Morty. They're in
Yeah, you know what it
season
is.
9 here. You know what you're getting into.
Know what you're getting to. All right. With that, then we will move on to some cancellations and
What
renewals.
am I no longer watching?
You're no longer watching Strip Law on Netflix, as it has been canceled after one season.
That was the animated show set in Las Vegas. One of the shows I was considering picking up, but now I guess I don't have to.
Now you don't have to. Also, another thing you don't have to is watch more Euphoria because they have confirmed, as was rumored, that the season that just wrapped up, season three, that's it. There will be no more Euphoria. That is the end.
Zendaya must be happy. Although I don't know if she's ever happy in that show.
Yeah, no, but
that's,
all those,
that's a little I know of Euphoria is that
yeah,
she's not happy in that show.
no one is. Yeah. So everybody who has been trapped in that show for the last handful of years is now free to finally escape Sam Levison's grasp.
You can finally go
So
and watch Hacks like a normal person.
exactly, and enjoy yourself.
Yes.
All right. Next up, The Hunting Party on HBO canceled after its two seasons. No
That
more
is the
Hunting Party.
show, not the album.
Yep, very different. The Marlowe Murder Club on PBS will get a fourth season, though that has been renewed.
Hey.
Devil May Cry, the current Netflix series, just got its second season, and it has been confirmed that the third and will be its final. So apparently, this is the creator's choice. I saw like a little
Mhm.
notes thing that said this is just the arc that they wanted the story to go, and they only had three parts. So there you go.
Yep, this is the animated series on
Yes,
Netflix.
yes. All right, let's move into some deaths. We have first John Blanche, age 77, a sci fi illustrator famous for work done on White Dwarf and Warhammer 40K.
Warhammer.
Warhammer, exactly. Next up, if you went to a Disney movie in the 90s, if you're a 90s kid and you walked out during the credits, you probably walked out during a song that was probably at least co-sung by Peebo Bryson, who passed this week, age 75. Sang, of course, the end credits versions of Beauty and the Beast and A Whole New World in Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin, respectively. Won Grammys for those songs in '93 and another song in '94. So yeah, definitely a staple of '90s childhood. A lot of other songs under his belt as well. A soulful, clear voice that you will definitely recognize if you hear it.
Yeah, want to put this one out there because a lot of people recognize it because
Yes.
the his version and his version of the songs were also ones on broadcast, on
Right.
Billboard, on the
Yes.
radio that you would
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah. A tradition that Disney actually continued into movies that you wouldn't think that they did. Remember the Demi Lovato version of Frozen's Let It Go?
Yes, there's also the Casey Musgraves version in Frozen 2.
Yes. These things happened, believe it or not. All right. And then next, we have Marsha Lucas. You might recognize that last name because she was the ex-wife of George Lucas and also an editor of Star Wars. Also helped George Lucas write Star Wars. She passed this week at age 80.
Yes, she'll be remembered by George Lucas, who is still alive.
Yes. Then lastly, something that just hit today, I believe, this
Yep,
morning. Anthony Head, age 72, of course, an actor in both Buffy. Giles was his name on Buffy, I believe.
maybe
Giles. And then most recently in Ted Lasso as the owner of the team that Ted coaches.
co-owner, former head owner.
Former, because eventually what does he do? He owns the rival team or something like
Yes,
that. Yeah,
Rupert.
right. Rupert is his
Yes, he
name.
was Rupert in Ted Lasso, the
Yeah.
ostensibly the antagonist throughout the series.
Yeah, basically. And he was really good at playing that kind of character,
Hmm.
for sure. So, yeah, lost another one of those great, reliable character actors, for sure.
Yep.
All right. With that, that does it for television. So we can move on to the last segment of the show, movies. And we start, as always, with the weekend box office numbers. And I gotta
Hold
give
on, hold
credit
on.
to you.
I'm getting a call here.
Mhm.
Hello? Hello,
I've gotta
Backrooms, is
give,
that you?
yes, credit where credit is due. You saw something I did not see. You saw the chance that Backrooms was going to be a success. I didn't realize it was going to be this much of a success, though. It blew everybody's predictions out of the water when it made $81 million in its first weekend at the box office. So, congratulations to Backrooms. It goes to show you that even YouTubers can have a hit movie.
We'll talk a little bit more about Backrooms in our main story.
Yes,
But
we
yeah,
will.
I mean, I just $81 million. I didn't expect that. I expected it
No.
somewhere in the 50s. I at least expected it like somewhere like above Mando, but not to the tune of 81 million.
No, it blows me away even to think about it. So congratulations are like
I should get two
obviously
points
due
for
here.
that.
Yeah, you should, but
I
no.
should, but I'm not.
No. All right. Number two, Obsession made $27 million. That's at 105. Yes, that means Star Wars The Mandalorian Grogu didn't even get to second place this week. It was at number three with only $24 million. That has fallen off a cliff in a way that I didn't think it was going to. So I am double wrong because I didn't even get it right for number two. Like, I just overestimated the Star Wars name, and this is going to be a instantly forgotten film. Like
Uh-huh.
I thought,
You get another negative point for that.
yeah, you wish. I mean, I thought that maybe people didn't care, but I didn't think that many people didn't care, and so quickly. So yeah, sorry. I feel like they really have to go back to the drawing board with what a Star Wars movie is now.
What do you mean? They have Starfighter coming out soon.
Ooh, boy. We'll see how that goes. Number four, Michael is back with another $11 million. And number five, The Breadwinner premiered with a little tiny total of $7.3 million.
I
But at
don't know
least you're
who
not
you
pressure.
7.3 out there who went
Yeah.
and saw it.
But at least you're not pressure, which also debuted this week to only 5.8, way down at number seven.
Yeah, but World War II money's gonna come in every now and
Yeah.
then.
But the good news is, I think You have a new movies in theater this week. You have a triple play of all sorts of weird things,
Mhm.
including a bonus other thing that you don't have on here that I just heard about on the internet today.
Oh, I
So
think I
we'll
know what you're
address
talking
that.
about, but I did not include it because it's a Fathom event.
Yes, but we've learned from that mistake before.
Okay, I'll put it here so
And
you can talk about it.
early predictions are suggesting it might beat all three of these movies.
You can say that. I'm going to say no, but you can say that if you want.
I hope it doesn't, but we'll see. Because first we have the big budget Masters of the Universe film, which is coming out this week. I haven't seen a whole lot of marketing for this, but it is a known quantity, and maybe there's a certain audience of 40-year-olds who are very excited for this. I don't know. I guess they're probably closer to 50-year-olds at this point, aren't they?
Yes, it's now this generation's version of Masters of
Yeah.
the Universe.
Anyway, also this week, the reboot of Scary Movie. So if that seems like something you want,
Yeah,
there
if
you
it
go.
scares the hilarious pants off you.
Maybe. I don't know. And then lastly, something called Power Ballad.
This was came out last week in limited release. This was the
Mm,
Paul Rudd Nick Jonas film. Gets a wider release this week
got it.
because
Okay.
I'm not
All
going to
right.
count the 250,000 that it made last week in like five theaters.
No, no, that's not. We don't do those wide. We wait until it's wide.
Yeah.
Uh,
But like you said, there's a
yeah.
surprise release. Well,
Yes.
not a surprise if you've been on the internet.
Yeah, I guess if you're really deep internet, more deeper than me or you, like somehow, like if you're in a certain corner of the internet, you may have heard something called the Amazing Digital Circus, and it's having a Fathom event, as you mentioned, for its final episode, I guess, like which I guess is feature length. I don't know. That is getting theatrical release, and so is technically something you can buy tickets for.
It is technically a movie because I guess it is 90 minutes. Let me look at the actual runtime.
Yeah.
But this is actually available on Netflix to watch the entire series. The last
Yes.
act will be the final two episodes, so that's why
Yes.
it's got the extended edition.
But like I
Um,
said, there is seems to be some sort of momentum here for it to beat the movies we just mentioned. Just looking at the dailies. Like if you look at Box Office Mojo right now, look at the number for Thursday.
oh yeah, it toppled on Thursday. It was the
So
number
we'll
one
see.
on Thursday.
So yeah, we might have something going on here that we just don't understand. It
Yeah, I
might just
believe
be
there was a Wednesday too.
yeah, so
No, no. So yeah, Thursday, and then we're now into Friday.
there could be some sort of younger audience that may be driving turnout there. So just keep that on your radar.
Right. For those of you who aren't looking at our screen, it is 7.8 million for that Thursday showing.
Notice that that is a higher number than the last movies we mentioned just now when
Oh,
we
the
recapped the
Backrooms
numbers.
and Obsession.
Yeah, not Backrooms, but yeah, the other two.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely going to make more than The Breadwinner, as most things should,
Yeah.
and it's already made more than Pressure.
Okay. Well
Actually,
then
made more than The
in
Breadwinner too, because 7.8.
well then okay, then let's do this then. What do you think will be our number one movie this week?
All right. Do you think The Amazing Digital Circuit is going to go over 50 million?
Uh hmm.
The reason I ask is because that's where I've seen projections for Scary Movie.
Okay. You think Scary Movie over Masters of the Universe?
Master of the Universe is trending for about a $30 million opening. So
Really? Under
I'm going to
Scary
go with
Movie.
Scary Movie. Do you
Okay, you're
want the
going
Amazing
Scary
Digital
Movie.
Circus?
You know what? You took a big swing last week and won. I'll take the big swing this week and hopefully win. So let's do it.
All right.
Let's.
You take
I didn't
this.
realize Scary Movie was being predicted so high. So, all right, we'll see what happens.
That's what I saw looking at this upcoming weekend.
All right. Well, we'll have to wait and find out. In the meantime,
Uh,
let's move to some movie news, and it's not about the weekend box office of this coming week. It's actually about what we talked about with Backrooms because it only took 6 days for the aforementioned Backrooms to become A24's first film to cross the $100 million mark, surpassing Marty Supreme, which made 96 million in its domestic run. And in fact, it's on its way to pass multi-Oscar winner and Mike favorite Everything Everywhere All at Once, which made $148 million globally.
Yeah, Christy and I are both in tears.
I know. Marty Supreme currently reigns as A24's highest grossing movie globally ever with $191.3 million. But that could ultimately change, and very soon, as Backrooms aims to pull in another 32 to 37 million in its second weekend. Backrooms launched off to an unprecedented $81.4 million stateside and $118 million worldwide, A24's best start in the history of its 14-year-old studio. Director Kane Parsons became the youngest filmmaker ever at 20 years old, by the way, to notch a number one opening at the box office, particularly one that was north of $100 million at the global box office. So a lot of big records now under this guy's name, and he's just getting started. He is 16 years younger than me, which I don't want to think about too long.
Hey, don't put an age on that.
What are we doing with our lives? We're not making box office successes, are we?
Well, the doors weren't open for us back then because nobody looked at YouTube videos and be like, yes, let's give that person a
Yeah.
$10 million budget.
The pipeline has changed. You're right. You had to go on, I don't know, Project Greenlight or something like that.
Yes. But even then, those films
Yeah.
didn't turn out too well.
No, they didn't. All right. So there you go. That's the news.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know. Good for him.
yeah,
He
good for him. But
figured it
this
out.
also is the change of the guard up top of who greenlights these movies. That
Yeah.
people in our position who grew up with
Yes.
YouTube are now making these
Sort of.
big swings of people from YouTube.
I guess grow up with YouTube is not really fair for us. We were 15 when it launched, so we were teenagers.
Yeah, we
Uh,
were helping YouTube grow up along with us.
sure, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. It's interesting. I do think that it shows, yeah, a younger like generation is coming in. This is like, are we going to have like headlines saying like the new Hollywood now? Like, are we there yet? Like, is the full changing of the guard just like it was in the 80s? Like,
I
maybe.
mean, between this backgrounds, between Obsession, and
Mhm.
depending on how Amazing Digital Circus does this weekend,
Yeah,
you could
things
probably
are
put a big
changing.
yes on that.
Maybe we'll see. So watch this space. We might have more to say about this new generation of filmmakers pretty soon here.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm very cautious about the Amazing Digital Circus because if it made, was it 7 million this weekend? Yeah,
Yeah.
7 million on Thursday, and then 7, 7, and 7.
Yeah.
That's gonna put about 35,
We could be
40.
talking about, if not number one, maybe a solid number two above Back Rooms, which is would be making a statement for
I
sure.
mean, right now it's trending to be above Masters of the Universe, the
I would
$200
say
million film, or
I would
$250 million
also,
dollar film.
yeah, I would also say that seven on a Thursday is impressive for a Thursday, which means Friday, Saturday, Sunday could be even higher. So that seven is the low amount. So we'll see. People will actually have free time to go to the movies. So
Yeah.
that might change
Well,
the prediction.
I mean, it's not on Box Office Mojo, but according to the
Mhm.
article here on Variety, Scary Movie did 7 million in previews for Thursday.
Okay, well, so they're
But
comparable. So
Amazing
yeah.
Digital Circus was above it at 7.8
Yeah, I don't know. This
and
could go
won
either way.
Thursday. So it's going to be close.
Yeah, we're just gonna be close. So watch the space for next week.
All right.
In the meantime, let's talk about some movies we watched. We both watched a movie. I'll do mine real quick because I am interested to hear what you hear about Hoppers.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, I do plan on watching it, so it'll have to be a spoiler-free discussion.
That's okay.
But I'll talk real briefly about the film I watched, which was, speaking of Charlie XCX, The Moment, the film that she released. Was that earlier this year? Like a handful of months
Yeah,
ago?
that
Yeah.
was this year
So this is ostensibly a
because it came out
mockumentary
with The Wuthering Heights back in February.
around the same time. Yeah. So yeah, this is ostensibly a mockumentary that is loosely based on the real experience that Charlie had when Brat took off. Basically, it takes place right after the album has gained steam, and she's planning like she has a tour structured around it, and she gets a director attached from her label to direct a film version of the concert. That's basically the setup for the moment. And the film goes on basically with Charlie dealing with this, the ups and downs of planning with a director that you're not familiar with, dealing with other staff when it comes to making a tour and a concert video happen, and also kind of a struggle within herself with the idea of Brat Summer catching on as like a viral phenomenon, with the idea of the pressures of doing all of the stuff at once without necessarily even knowing what she actually wants as an artist, with having her artistry compromised by like, arguments about like what the look of the show will be, that kind of thing. So on paper, it seems interesting, right? Like, I do think that there's a concept here that is really strong. I like movies that kind of peek behind the curtain of pop stardom, that want to look at it in a different way. I really like those straight documentaries that artists have done recently, like Taylor Swift's Miss Americana, that like let you see like the real person behind that kind of performance. And Charlie kind of does that here in what's essentially a satire. And I think that does a little bit of disservice to what she's trying to get across with this. And I think it's the same problem that I've been having with this album rollout right now, with the singles and also naming the album music, fashion, film, and getting like celebrities essentially to be on the cover of it. I am just very confused by the muddied waters of Charlie's whole deal right now. Does she want to do this satire, ironic layers upon layers kind of commentary, or is she actually trying to get something emotional across? That like, is she trying to communicate this is actually how this stuff makes me feel? Because I think you can have both, but I think the way she's going about it right now confuses me and does not actually deliver what she wants it to deliver to me. I think the movie is kind of a mess. It's not a great script. It feels edited like like very messily, just like very sloppily. It's shot okay. I think that there's a little too much like, oh, this just feels like a television mockumentary, kind of like single cam sitcom kind of vibes, and not really theatrical in the way that I like was hoping it would. The performances are interesting because really there's only really one movie star per se in this. And so you get a lot of like her real friends in this, and like some celebrity cameos that feel very strange in the moment they're happening. It feels all over the place. And to me, while the concept is interesting, and I do think it's a fascinating commentary on pop stardom now, and does kind of address some of the things that she must have in real life been dealing with, the pressures of trying to like live up to it being such a phenomenon, and probably the fights that she may have had with her label about, well, now this has become so big, maybe you can't be as like edgy or like as yeah, I guess edgy is the word, like that you may have wanted to. Like there's a commentary about like, oh, the flashing lights during the show is like, do we need a warning about this? Like, are we going to have like, is this too much for somebody to handle? Like that kind of actual commentary, like conversation probably happened in real life, because when you get to a certain echelon of stardom, which Charlie arguably has, you have to deal with audiences that you hadn't with before, and that can add complication to something if you have a certain goal here, like with what you're trying to show your artistry. But ultimately, it just feels like the delivery mechanism for this is the wrong one. Mockumentary is not what this should have been. Like, I would have liked to see either all the way documentary or all the way fictional, because the way that she splits the difference here, it just didn't work for me.
That's where I was gonna go with and ask you, like, how
Yeah.
much of this is mockumentary and how much of this is, well, on tour, let's just shoot a bunch of stuff and figure it out later.
It's very much the first thing. It's she's using concepts of things that actually happened, I'm sure, but it's mostly fiction. Like it's like, I'll give you an example of how far they go with extending the metaphor. There's a major plot point in this movie in which a credit card company based on a bank who is about to fail, basically, decides to throw a Hail Mary by getting Charlie XCX to make a Brat credit card. As you might have mentioned, as you might imagine, it goes badly, and the bank ultimately shuts down. Charlie has to deal with this as like a PR nightmare, like right when she's about to like put out this film. Like so, that's kind of an example of where this goes. Obviously, the movie is being very tongue in cheek here. Be like, wouldn't it be crazy if Charlie basically sold out so much that there was a credit card based on her? That's the kind of sense of humor this thing has. So if that sounds funny to you, maybe you'd like this film. If it sounds like, I don't know, where I'm at.
Okay, so I'm going to assume you didn't watch This is Spinal Tap, The End Continues, which was the
No,
latest
I
in
didn't.
mockumentary.
Yeah,
So then you have
I
to
did
go
not
back
watch.
to Popstar for mockumentary.
Popstar still does it better than anybody else does it. And this reason is because they know what it is. It is just a pure comedy and it is just jokes. That is what you have to do. Spinal
Mhm.
Tap's the same way. I think here is that she lets in just a little too much truth into it, which sounds like silly to say because you do want at least some sort of emotional like connection there. But it just feels messy because it just like doesn't feel like there's a balance between those two things.
Well, that's what I'm wondering because, like, because it's shot in the moment, you can't recreate Brad Summer
Yeah.
like now to shoot it for a movie that comes out later. You have to shoot it in the moment, hence the
Yeah,
moment,
the
the
moment.
title.
Yeah, I don't know. I
So it
think
sounds like where you're like, here, say these lines. Here, let's set up this situation.
it just, yeah, it felt too ironic and too detached, which is my problem with Charlie right now.
Mhm.
Is that like all of it feels like off the cuff, just like. And the thing is that like my favorite moments of Brat were when she was actually talking about real things she was dealing with, and it balanced between these are the party songs and these are the really emotional touchstone songs. Also, what I loved about How I'm Feeling Now, her 2020 record. And this does not have that balance, and I feel like it makes me worry about Charlie as she continues her career. Is she going to lean all the way into the 1975-esque actually none of this matters kind of thing? Like actually we're going to make fun of all of this now because not because I'm sick of all of it. I just don't want her to get to that. And that's just maybe just me, but I don't know.
Okay, so you wanted more Doc and less mock,
Again, I feel like
or
it
more
needed to
like
pick a lane.
tuned mock.
Yeah. Either have it be a really funny fictional comedy
Hmm.
and blow everything up, or have it be more about the serious part about this. And I think that where it's at is this weird, ironic no man's land that just not wasn't for me and it didn't click. And apparently didn't click with most of the critics at the time who pretty much universally panned it. So I get where they're coming from.
All right. Well, that's too bad then.
Yeah.
Okay, but
But
I
you
watched the
watched a
movie,
different movie.
but it's to be a spoiler-free version,
Yes.
unlike the moment,
Yes.
which was, I assume, spoiler-filled. I
No,
don't
I
plan
I,
on
I
watching
pretty
it.
much just told you what happened in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so out on Disney Plus right now is their big film from March. That's right.
Yes.
You had to wait 45 days for Hoppers to come out on Disney Plus.
Yes.
Oh, I sat here and I waited. And yes, as of today, like it came out today, you can watch Hoppers, the newest Pixar film.
Yes.
Um, Basic concept for those of you who have seen the trailers, it's like Avatar, but it's not like Avatar. You put this brain into robot beaver
Uh-huh.
or
Yeah.
robot animals, and you
As you do.
communicate with animals as you do, just casually in university. Just casually do that with students. No, no sign of digital malpractice going on right there.
No, no, nothing weird.
No, nothing ethical wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I will say that what this film does great is that you don't know where it's going. Like I think from point A to point B at the very end, it does get to like, oh, okay, I see where it's going, but how it gets there in the journey is the surprise that I really liked from Hoppers. The twist, the turns, who the ultimate like antagonist is, how they solve everything. You can kind of see where it's going, as well as like for example, the first act, they're trying to figure out why like all the animals kind of disappeared. As they were going through it, I was like, oh, I know what they're doing here. But then it was like, oh, we're not going to wait 3 acts to figure it out. We're just going to give it to the answer right now because it is that simple. It is the first thing you think of. And then where it goes from there is like, okay, so we
Yeah.
solved that, but then where do we go next? It's like, oh, but we
Yes.
solved that, but where do we go next? Oh, we solved that, but where do we go next? Because there's also more. That's one thing that Hoppers does really well is that it solves things really quickly, but it also means that something bigger is on the
Yeah.
way too. It's a very, very heavy domino effect that I really enjoyed watching.
That is great news because I remember one of the reasons why I was excited to see this is because the reviews that were hitting her at the time were like, it has a lot of twists and does keep you guessing in a way that Pixar really hasn't been interested in doing that kind of storytelling in a long time.
Mhm. Every time it got to the point of, okay, I see where this is going, it's like, nope, we're gonna go this way now. And we're gonna zig and we're gonna zag. And it kept me on my feet. It kept me interested.
Hmm.
Even if all you know is just from the trailers, there's enough in it, especially past the first act, to like, oh, I didn't realize it was going this way. Oh, I didn't realize it was going that. Oh, that's an interesting concept right there. There's a lot
Right.
of like stuff that keeps you engaged with the film. And that's one thing that Hoppers does really well that Lightyear before it definitely didn't do, which
Did
was
not do.
keep you
Yeah.
engaged in the film.
Right. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, we do have the next film from Pixar, Toy Story 5, coming out, and it does look like a very straightforward film.
I mean,
But
without
with
seeing it, we don't
Hoppers,
know yet. We
but I say,
could
but
give it the
seeing how
benefit of
what
the
they did with
doubt.
Hoppers, I could be pleasantly surprised with if they want to take the different twists and turns going through it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is I'm not like going into Toy Story 5 with huge expectations, but I am at least remembering how we felt before 4 came out and how pleasantly surprised we were with 4. So I'm at
Speak
least
for
holding.
yourself. I did not like 4 at all.
Oh, I forgot. You and Christy don't like that movie.
Yes, because it broke the fundamental rule about
I
what
know.
Toy Story is.
She also agrees with you. She has a huge hang up with how that movie ends.
Hmm.
And like, I don't know, I really enjoy that movie. I thought it did the right thing, which makes this one even more complicated for me because I'm like, wait, you had it. I was like, you guys were so close. And I know the most one of the most recent trailers explained that why they bring Woody back, but like
Hmm.
still, and still there's part of me who's just like always kind of gonna be like, I kind of wish they could have left it like that. But
Right.
what are you gonna do?
I
But at
think
least,
what
yeah.
they, well, I think Elio was also one of the previous films from Hoppers. And
Mhm.
while you saw Elio, right?
I did, and I didn't love it.
Okay. So it
I
also
thought it was
had
like,
like different
okay.
twists, but didn't like fully commit to them.
No, I feel like there was a
Hoppers actually
first.
commits to it.
Yeah, that's the thing with Elio's. I feel like there's a version of that script that's way less formulaic than the one they ended up with.
Hmm.
Because that the worst part about that movie is how predictable it is. Like Elio goes exactly how you think it's going to go. Every step, every beat. So to hear that Hoppers is surprising and fresh is great news, and I will absolutely watch that very soon.
Yep. Especially with some of the voice cameos they do get. I was like, oh, that's a definitely a pleasant surprise right there.
That's fun. Yeah.
I mean, I'll just figure out there is no surprise Patton Oswald.
Yeah,
But
but
who you do get surprised with, I'll leave that up to you.
okay. I guess I will be surprised.
Both the name and the character they play are two like very hilarious jokes in it.
Good to know. All right. On that note, that'll wrap it up for movies, and that'll
Yep.
do it for the Media Boat podcast today. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week for even more news and thoughts. We'll probably have, I don't know, some more movies under our belt,
We'll know
possibly.
who won Roland Garros. We may
Yes.
or may not have a champion in the NBA and the NHL.
That is true. We might have some champion trophies being hoisted before next week. We'll also have some more video game news, including the Xbox and Nintendo showcases that are yet to happen. So stay tuned for more video game stuff too. So we'll have a little something for everybody next week, sounds like.
Yep. We'll have a little bit for all of us. And where can we find all that good stuff?
You can find us in video form on YouTube if you search YouTube for Media Boat Podcast. You can find us in audio form on podcast services by searching Media Boat Podcast on there. You can find us on Blue Sky, which is our version of social media these days. if you search Media Boat on that platform. And you can email us with comments, questions, feedback about the show, anything you would like. MediaBoatPodcast@gmail.com is that email address. So with that, we will be signing off today, and we'll be back next week. Enjoy. We'll see you then.
Yep, and start enjoying your summer in June. We'll be
Yes.
back with more news, more thoughts, and more of us.
All right. See you then.
All right, bye.